moving to the northeast. Here's Highway 56. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to zoom all the way down to street level here and just kind of go down the path of where I think this is. As Aaron was just now saying, this is in the streets of Melbourne right now, right near Knob Creek Road. There's Highway 9, there's Larkin Road. Larkin Road, this is going to continue moving toward Larkin Road. Here's the Larkin community, here's the La Crosse community. It's going to be coming very close to these areas. You keep moving down to the, or up to the northeast, you got County Road 111, you've got County Road 57, you've got Easy K Road. If you know that area, that's an area that this is going to be really close to, probably crossing County Road 69. Continuing towards Zion Road. I'm going to continue going down the path here. Here's the Myron community where Highway 56 is. And then just to the north of here, you start getting into a lot of residential areas here also. Here's Highway 56. It's going to be coming pretty close to the Myron community and then eventually should be crossing over Highway 56 before you get into the Ballard community and the Ash Flat community. So that just gives you a few of the city names that we got. A new radar image just came in also.
And the warning does not officially include Cherokee Village or Hardy or Highland, but if you're in Cherokee Village, Hardy, and Highland, you need to be in your tornado safe spot. Just some times of arrival. If you're in Franklin, 229, Ash Flat, 240, Cherokee, 248, Williford, 255. Also in there, you have Horseshoe Bend, you have Highland, Hardy, and up through Ozark Acres out there as well as it moves through northern parts of Sharp County. And we'll have to also keep an eye on the storm back down to the southwest. New tornado warning in effect for parts of Stone and Cleburne counties until 3 o'clock for that storm that's south of Clinton.
All right, so there's some times of arrival again. They're on your screen. 231 Franklin, Ash Flat 242, Cherokee Village, Hardy, Highland area, all blanketed at around 245 to 250. Williford at 258. If this holds together, that would be here on the edge of this. Now, let's take a look at the new tornado warning. We're going to have to start really juggling all these tornado warnings now. We've got one that's in the northern parts of Ripley County. Donovan, if you know anybody in the northwestern parts of Ripley County, heading into the Elsinore community, wake them up, make sure that they're awake. Next one is the one that's going through Melbourne right now. Really strong signs of rotation, probably the strongest storm at the hour right now. That is moving through Melbourne. It's moving up toward Highway 56 and heading up toward Ash Flat. Need anybody in that area, take cover now. Get as many walls between you and the outside that you possibly can. Get to the lowest level of whatever building you're in. Figure out a way to cover your head. You know, in school, you just put your arms up there. It's much better to hurt these arms than it is to hurt this head. Cover your head with your arms. Grab a pillow, grab some books. If you have a bike helmet, if you have a football, baseball, softball helmet, that's a good thing to have all on also. Put shoes on. In the unfortunate event that your house gets hit, you are going to want to have shoes on. Put shoes on also. You know, I was talking with the guys on the radio station this morning, and we were just kind of going over the list of shoes on and helmet, and they were listening to Good Morning America where Ginger Z was saying to grab a whistle also. That is an extreme event, but you know, we've seen the destruction here recently within the past week. If you are in the unfortunate event where you are hit, it is a lot easier to blow a whistle and get some help in case that happens. So these are all just things that if you just wanted to add into your severe weather safety plan, that's one to do. Now, the latest tornado warning is this one right here. Oh, let me clear this off. Latest one is outside of Region 8, but it's starting to come in now. This rotation is very south of Clinton. That will be coming into Cleburne County here shortly. That is still outside of Region 8, so I really kind of want to focus. This is on the edge of Region 8 here in Ripley County, and I want people, if you know family up here, northwestern parts of Ripley County, this is going into, that is Carter County, right?
Yeah, that's Carter County, right,
so
on the north side. Elsinore. Should stay south. I know a lot of people know the Van Buren community. That's up there on the Current River.
Yeah.
Should stay south of Van Buren, but Elsinore, southern parts of Carter County, you may be able to get us on your antenna in southern Carter County. But that's heading up into your area. Vivid lightning right now on the Hardy sky camera. I've got it
so
pointed.
we're really looking back toward this storm here in a minute.
Yeah, we've got the tower that's kind of in the way, but I've got it pointed back off towards the south and west generally. A lot of lightning with that. And we're also starting to get power outage reports in Melbourne.
That's not a good sign.
So yeah, looks like
y'all pull that up behind you here. Y'all pull the power outages up behind you here. We're going to take a look at that here in a minute also.
It looks like the entire city of Melbourne is without power from, I would say, the school all the way back through downtown.
Jace, can you get the newsroom and start checking on calling that area and see if we can find out if there's any damage?
Let me check on North Arkansas Electric, because that's going to be the cooperative that's going to be in and around Melbourne.
Tell you what, hold on. I've got some people up there also that I need to see if we can get some info on. Yep. Stand by.
While he's doing that, I'll give you another track on this storm, just give you some times of arrival as this moves into Sharp County. This is moving about 50 miles. A lot of lightning right now in Hardy, so very, very electrified storm. A lot of it, a very intense storm. If you live in Myron, 235, 242 in Ash Flat, 251 in Cherokee Village, 258 Williford, and this holds together and moves into Randolph County. We're looking at Ravenden Springs at about 3:08 in the morning. It's 2:25 right now. This storm's on the north side of Melbourne, moving out through just south of Violet Hill. If you're in Violet Hill, you need to be in your tornado safe spot right now. LaRose, up and down Izard County Highway, County Road 9, County Road 57. If any of this rings any kind of bells to you, you need to be in your tornado safe spot. County Road 208, 211, Easy Road, the Zion community, up along Highway 289 that runs from Melbourne up through the Zion community up into the south sides of Horseshoe Bend. If you live in Franklin, if you live in Horseshoe Bend, you need to be in your tornado safe spot. This storm, capable of producing a tornado. We have power outages in Izard County right now, in the city of Melbourne. If not, you're going to get very strong winds with this storm as it moves off towards the north and east.
Can we take another source for just a second? I'm having to change something on the computer real fast. If you don't mind, sorry to throw that on you just at the last second.
Here's a look at that Hardy Sky camera right now. In a minute, you'll see it flash up. There's a lot of lightning in this storm. There it is, very, very electric storm right now. It's probably waking you up if you're living in Hardy and Ash Flat, because it's just very, very loud with the lightning and the thunder. With the lightning and the thunder, you're not going to hear the tornado sirens go off. It's very windy outside still, unless with not the storm moving into the area yet. When the rain starts to fall, it's going to be very loud. So don't rely on those tornado sirens. If you know people who live in Horseshoe Bend, Ash Flat, I'm kind of confident that there may be something on the ground between Violet Hill and La Crosse right now.
Let's go back to the graphics if we can. I think I've got our issue resolved now. There we go. We'll go back here. By the way, I just talked to Mel Coleman with North Arkansas Electric, and he says they do not have any customers out from the possible tornado from some wind earlier, but he said that Melbourne is all Entergy. And you said the whole city's out?
The whole city of Melbourne's without power, it looks like right
gracious. Now. That is not a good sign. This is the possible tornado that just went through the Melbourne area. All this is without power. That's not a good sign. That is a sign that we may have just had a tornado hit the Melbourne area, and it's going to be really difficult to get some information out of there. Move this off. Still moving at 50, right?
45. It's slowing down incrementally as it continues to the northeast, but still anywhere between 45 and 55 miles an hour.
Myron Community 237. It's 227 right now. You have 10 minutes. You have 10 minutes to take cover. Ash Flat 245, Cherokee Village, Highland, Hardy, Cherokee Village about 254. So you have a 254. So you've got some time here. Chances are we woke you up with the app here just a little bit ago because we extended out farther this area because officially the warning isn't going to wake you up yet. Your cell phone, if you have the WEA warnings on that, those aren't going off in this area yet. So hopefully these people have the Region 8 weather app because we just now sent a geofence alert right here into this area to wake you up. However, if you know people in Cherokee Village, Ash Flat, Highland, make sure they're awake right now. Myron Community, make sure they're awake right now. This is going to continue on. 301, the King Community. excuse me, 310 into Armstrong.
I just got a report. The newsroom has called the Izard County Sheriff's Office. Right now, they're not getting any reports of damage in Melbourne yet, but it's still probably early going. They're probably a lot of people still probably asleep. Hopefully, people got the warning, but right now, no damage reports in Melbourne. But that is a nasty looking storm moving. And when you do that track, it's not putting in Horseshoe Bend, but this is coming right into Horseshoe Bend. It sets in that northeastern corner of Izard County. All those roads, that's Horseshoe Bend in that area. So if you're in Horseshoe Bend, you need to be in your tornado safe spot now.
Okay. You bring up a good point. I'm not sure why it's not bringing that up, but there it is. Yeah, Horseshoe Bend's going to be really, really close to you. Violet Hill, it is passing really close to you. There it is, new update. Franklin community, between Franklin and Zion Road right now. This is coming into Highway 56. I tell you, this is following a very, 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 and I don't want people to think that it's the same as that, but it's concerning enough that it's popping up in my head, is the Super Tuesday tornado. This path was very similar to this one also, and it is heading toward, here's Ash Flat right here. It is heading toward that general vicinity. Violet Hill, Franklin, Zion Road, Highway 56, Ash Flat need to be in your tornado safe spot right now. All right, looks like that's the severe thunderstorm warning down to our southwest.
We have a new tornado warning. This is going to be in Missouri. It's going to be for parts of Butler County. It's for that storm that's moving through Carter County. It's going to clip extreme western parts of Butler County, north and west of Poplar Bluff.
All right, so here's the rotation on that one. That's a nasty looking storm right there. I know we have people that watch us in Elsinore and the Grandin area. This is right on the edge of Region A, but new tornado warning is right there for Carter County. That rotation is going to come really close to Elsinore, and then it might hit the northwestern parts of Butler County before moving into, that's Shannon County, correct?
Shannon or Wayne, one of the two up there.
Okay, so it gets right out.
It's right out, that would move right outside of Region 8, but that moves up towards, clips parts of Lake Wapapello. And I know a lot of folks up here go up to Lake Wapapello north of Poplar Bluff. So
we got a lot of nasty storms right now here in the middle of the night. This is a dangerous, dangerous situation. I can't tell you enough. You're not going to bug anybody. If you're wondering, I know people that live in Elsinore, but I don't want to wake them up. Wake them up. Grandin community, it's going to be very close to there also. Northwestern parts of Butler County, Poplar Bluff is fine, but this is extreme northwestern parts of Butler County. And then it's getting outside of Region 8, Williamsville, near Mill Spring. You were talking about Lake Wapapello, I'm assuming. Yep, there.
Ryan, I hate to interrupt you, but this is the new information on the tornado warning coming out of Izard County. They are saying a large and extremely dangerous tornado was located over Franklin.
They're confirming it. What is new? This pink polygon here is a confirmed tornado.
And now that includes Highland, Hardy, Cherokee, over to Williford.
That is a nasty, 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 nasty looking radar signature.
If you're in the west sides of Horseshoe Bend, if you live, I don't know which river that is, but if you know the river that runs between Horseshoe Bend and Franklin.
It's probably going to be, I believe it's Strawberry River.
I believe so.
Getting my rivers mixed up here.
But if you live along Highway 56, that road that you take from Ash Flat back over to Melbourne, you need to be in your tornado safe spot right now. The east sides of Horseshoe Bend, Ash Flat, Cherokee Village, Hardy, Highland.
All right, here's the deal. I know law enforcement's out there also. Do whatever you can to wake people up. Put your sirens on, do whatever you have to do. We need to wake people up. We need people in Ash Flat, Cherokee Village, Hardy, Myron community, even Horseshoe Bend. I think it'll pass south of you, but let's not be confident on this. There is likely a tornado sitting right there, probably about right here now, and it is passing really close to the Violet Hill area. I'm going to go down to a little bit closer here. Crossing over Zion Road here shortly.
And the reason they went considerable with this, there's not a confirmed tornado per se, but it's just how strong that rotation is coming into Franklin right now. The Weather Service is almost confident that there has to be at least something causing damage on the ground right now. A tornado, maybe some very, very strong winds at the very least. But they want to make sure, especially with it being 2:30 in the morning, that people in Franklin, that people in Cherokee Village, Hardy, Highland, that they are getting the warning and getting into a safe place. And if there is something, we should see it come into the Hardy Sky camera as it comes over those hills out of Highland here in the next little bit.
I'm talking with Mel Coleman, CEO of North Arkansas Electric Cooperative. He has some pretty good information here. He says they do serve the rural areas, so if there is damage through there, he should start getting some reports on that here shortly. Rural outside of Melbourne, Entergy's inside Melbourne, and even though all of Entergy is out, let's hope this is the case. He said lightning could have taken out a substation at Melbourne. And took out the transmission line somewhere feeding the station. That would be a best case scenario on that. But looking at radar right now, that is a very, very concerning look coming into Ash Flat.
The Weather Service saying Ash Flat needs to be in cover now. Cherokee Village must be finishing taking cover now. So if you live in Cherokee Village, if you live in Ash Flat, you got less than probably 5 minutes before this is coming into the south sides of town. This is coming through the east sides of Horseshoe Bend and those roads and communities out there, and then this will just travel up Highway 167 into Cherokee Village and Hardy within the next 10 to 15 minutes. This storm's moving pretty fast at 45 to 50 miles per hour. So if you live in eastern parts of Horseshoe Bend, if you live in Violet Hill, if you live in Ash Flat, anywhere between Ash Flat and Evening Shade on Highway 167, you need to be in your tornado safe spot now. And if you are awake, but you don't know if your family members are awake over in that area, give them a call because they need to be woken up. They need to take shelter. We just need to make sure everybody is safe this morning across this area, because this area is very unstable and we're still having to watch storms back down towards Clinton. Those storms are getting stronger. Those are going to continue to move into Region 8 as well. So we're probably going to deal with this for the next couple of hours at least. And then later on today, we'll have to deal with the cold front coming through, bringing some more thunderstorms. Hopefully they won't be as intense as these storms are right now, but these storms are feeding off of some incredible energy in the atmosphere. And right now, there's no slowing them down.
All right, Ash Flat, this is coming up Highway 56 now. So to kind of give you an idea, this road here, this is where we come out from Highland. You come back around. You've got Walmart here on the left and Subway. And you've got Sonic over here, and it turns back. Mark Martin dealership is right here. This is Highway 56 that comes down from Ash Flat. This tornado is very close to Highway 56 and it's heading into Ash Flat. You're running out of time, Ash Flat. This is a time where you already need to be hunkered down. There's a new radar scan. It's crossing over Highway 56. It is coming into Ash Flat right now. This is going to be crossing really close to the Highway 412, Highway 56 and 167 intersections here, then coming really close to Cherokee Village and into the Hardy community. I don't think that a radar image could get any more concerning, especially from this far away. Do we have any more power outages coming in right now? Checking on that.
Check on that right quick. We've got the outages for Melbourne. If we do have a tornado and it's starting to move into Ash Flat, we will know with Entergy at least.
Yeah.
Entergy services Ash Flat up through the Highland, Hardy, Cherokee Village, Ash Flat areas. At least that portion of Sharp County. As you go into Fulton County and Izard County, we're in North Arkansas Electric Cooperative service areas, and not seeing too many outages there. Just sporadic outages right now, but these outages will probably start coming in if there's something on the ground for Horseshoe Bend and Violet Hill pretty quickly.
All right, so the tornado, possible tornado is going to be near Ash Flat, 246. That is very soon. Cherokee Village, 257. Williford Community, 306. We're now seeing Raven Springs on the time of arrival. If this holds together, it's going to start coming into the Randolph County area also. Doubt it will go into Lawrence County, but Randolph County area possible also. I'll tell you what, let's go ahead, one of y'all, let's go ahead and put out an app alert for northwestern parts of Randolph County.
Jason's working on that right now.
I've been following the storm, so we're getting app alerts out.
Okay, appreciate that. What I mean by that is if you have our app, we have the technology to go farther than the tornado warning to give people more of a heads up. So we're going to extend that farther out. That would also be no, that's still Little Rock National Weather Service.
Yeah, Randolph is.
Yeah.
Springfield, they made this statement a little bit earlier, but this storm is kind of following that same path of that storm that went through Oregon County just a little bit ago. It's kind of taking that path, so eventually as this moves out of Oregon into Ripley County, we're going to have to watch for places like Myrtle and Couch, and eventually towards Gatewood and Donovan for this possible storm. Also for parts of into Randolph County, Pocahontas up to Dalton and Maynard, we need to keep an eye on this as it moves up into Randolph County. And then we have to watch this storm that's on the Van Buren, Cleburne, Stone County line area down there in moving out of central Arkansas. That storm is ramping up as well.
You know, that storm here is moving into Elsinore. We've told people if you have people in Elsinore, call them. It's past north of Grandin, it's in Elsinore, it's heading up to Williamsville here shortly. We're bouncing a lot of tornado warnings right now, so I want to watch Elsinore, but at the same time, our sister station at KFVS, also a Gray-owned television, is going to be tracking this one as it continues to move on toward the Williamsville area. But if you are watching us in Elsinore, now time has run out. You've got to be in your safe spot right now. Call people right now if they're from Elsinore, Highway 60 over to 49 to Williamsville. Make sure that they know that a tornado warned storm with a very, very pronounced radar image is there. All right, this is the latest radar image coming in.
It's on the south sides of Ash Flat right now.
Yep.
Coming up Highway 56, Highway 56 and 167. That's right there, really the southern edge of Ash Flat. Likely a tornado will cross Highway 167 near Ash Flat.
All right, so this is Jones Road. This is County Road 135. If there's a tornado there, that's where it is right now. You can see a lot of populated areas through here, just down to the south of the Ballard community. There's a new update. This is coming right into Ash Flat. You see this purple area here. This is, I won't get into the nerdy side of radar, but we call this the purple haze. You really can't see what's going on here too much, but that rotation's still right here coming into Ash Flat. Now, once this goes through Ash Flat, here's Highland. It's going to be coming through here. Look at all these streets here. You're getting into some populated areas through here.
If you know anybody that lives Ash Flat up Highway 62 412, there into Highland and Cherokee, let them know now, because they really don't have too much time left for this tornado. They're fixing the Weather Service is fixing to clear Izard County out of the warning. The storm is now completely into Sharp County with this storm, and they're fixing to issue a severe thunderstorm warning for Lawrence County, probably for the parts of this storm. I'm really not sure, but we're going to watch that as that moves in.
Let me see. Let me see what they're looking at here. Let's go back to radar first. Okay, I see. This is what
some
they're
big
issuing.
hail fixing to come into Imboden and Black Rock.
Goodness gracious, that popped up out of nowhere. Let me see the play on this. Look at that. So that's for this storm here.
That was nothing as it was back towards Lynn and Smithville.
That's an explosive atmosphere.
Expect to see some pretty large hail emboldened into Black Rock and eventually into Pocahontas.
All right, so tornado warning there. This storm fired up quickly. Little bitty storm. It's near Annieville, just kind of passing to the east of Smithville. Here's Imboden. Here's Black Rock. That little storm's probably going to put down some hail around Imboden here in just a minute. Yeah, right there at 412. When you're coming into the Imboden area, you got that pond sitting right through here. That'll be about the area where that hail comes through.
Yeah, that's going to go right up Highway 62 into probably the west sides of Pocahontas. Pretty quickly. This storm's moving at 55. No, that's the tornado warning. The severe thunderstorm warning is moving probably about this. Well, it hasn't been issued. It's probably about the same speed, probably about 55 miles an hour.
It'll be interesting when this storm comes in and these kind of merge together also. All right, let's go back into this. We need Highland, Ash Flat. It's on you right now. Let's wait for a new radar image. This is going to be coming into Highland here next, Cherokee Village and Hardy. There's the new, we're still in kind of that purple haze here. We're in a bad radar area, but trust me, that's still, this area still needs to be hunkered down in their safe spot. If you're just waking up with us, Hardy, Cherokee Village, Highland, Ash Flat, we need everybody with as many walls in between you and the outside that you possibly can. Lowest level, cover your head. Number one way that people get major injuries is for something hitting their head. So,
and looking off the Memphis radar, that is still some very strong rotation. It's over Ash Flat right now. If you're in Ash Flat, Cherokee, up into Hardy, you need to be in your tornado safe spot. This storm is moving at about 50 to 55 miles per hour off towards the north and east. Still a very extremely dangerous storm. Possible tornado with this storm. Haven't received confirmation of that just yet, but it's still pretty strong. Cherokee Village, in your safe space now. Ravenden Springs 310. Eventually this moves into Myrtle in Oregon County 317 and Gatewood in Ripley County 329. So it's not going to stay on top of you long. It's probably now between Ash Flat and Cherokee Village. So it's going to move in and move out fairly quickly.
All right, let's take a look at this severe thunderstorm warning. New radar scans coming in on this one now also. That's producing some hail right now in Imboden along Highway 412, right near Mindy Lane, near the Hogan community. It'll take you down to street level. More than likely, Lawrence County Road 2062 is seeing hail right now.
Right there on the Spring River, fixing to cross over in Randolph County. That's some large hail right now on 63 between Imboden and Black Rock.
Yeah, it is. All right, let's see if we can get another look at the wind within this storm. There it is. I mean, you can see it pretty good on the Memphis radar site. It's coming through Ash Flat right now. It might, I don't want to get too cutesy with the location on it because it's so far away from the radar site, but it might have just gone across 412. If it did, it's going to be right. It's going to be right at that intersection where Mark Martin dealership is and Emerson, really close to Walmart. But it might have gone just to the south of there. Let's see radar image there.
Right now, not seeing any power outages through the Horseshoe Bend area, through that parts of Ezra County. So that's good news. No power outages as of yet in Ash Flat either. So that's some more good news. Hopefully, if there was something on the ground, it has lifted. And it's now, but it's still, there's some very, very strong rotation moving into, through Ash Flat now into Highland and into Cherokee Village. So we don't want to get out of our safe spot by any stretch of the imagination. Still a very, very strong storm.
It was cycling. I think it's picking back up now.
And that would make sense. These storms, kind of what happened last week or on Friday there in, as that storm moved out of central Arkansas into Cross County, it would tighten up and then it would decrease a little bit, tighten back up and decrease a little bit. And hopefully we don't see anything like we saw in wind in this area, but we just got to keep that in mind. This atmosphere is, especially instability wise, is a lot more conducive for a very strong storm than even the storm last week in wind. So at the very least, very strong winds moving through Sharp County right now, northern half of Sharp County, and then we could see a little bit of hail, especially like in the northern edge of this storm. So you may have some heavy rain, maybe some small hail falling right now in Cherokee Village, Highland, and Hardy. Taking a look at how hard it's raining mode.
Let me see if I can get a better look at this. If we put it over into Memphis radar, looking at radar, it's either riding right along 412 or it might be a little bit south of 412. All right, let's see.
Not getting any reports of any damage back into Izard County. Doesn't mean anything at this time, but it is still early in the morning. We need everybody just to make sure that if you know anybody in Hardy and Cherokee in Highland, they need to be in their tornado safe spot right now. They have really no more time to get to their safe spot. They need to, if they're right next to the bathroom now, they need to get into the bathroom, get something to cover their head. They have a baseball helmet or a football helmet, put that on your head as this storm passes through. Hopefully it moves over and you can get out of your bed and go back to sleep, since it is almost 3 o'clock in the morning. Very heavy rain starting to move into Hardy. Very, very sharp lightning as well in Hardy right now as we take a live look from our sky camera there near downtown. It's looking back towards Cherokee Village and Highland right now. So
starting to get, did just get some damage reports around the Violet Hill community. They said they didn't hear of any damage in Melbourne, but in Violet Hill, Lawrence County is reporting quarter-size hail. So we've got the possible tornado here, and then we've got quarter-size hail right here on the right side of your screen.
And that's moved now into Randolph County. It's up there near the Burdell area there on Highway 62, Squirrel Road, Fairview Road, Lloyd Williams Road, Black Ferries Road. That's going to move up through the western sides of Pocahontas here fairly shortly. It may be trying to dump all of its hail out as well, because at least from my end, in the last radar scan, the hail core is not as intense as it was a while ago, but it's still there as it moves further into Randolph County. And then we still have this tornado warning storm in Sharp County.
So that's the hail core. It actually looks like we're starting to get some more hail over here around, back around Imbone. So this is Pocahontas. This is just to the west here. All right, let me wind out, make sure we're not missing anything. Severe thunderstorm warning, Randolph County now, tornado warning, Ash Flat to Highland to Cherokee Village to Hardy. We've got another tornado warning that we're going to, wrong button, that we're going to have to start paying attention to as it starts coming to Region 8 here shortly. That's this one. And doesn't look as strong as the other storm, but still concerning right there. That's going to be coming across some of the same area.
Yeah, it's going to come up in through, down and along Highway 9, south of Mountain View, and may clip the south sides of Mountain View as it moves back up into parts of Izard County. The old tornado warning from the Ash Flat area has expired, but that rotation near Cherokee Village has really ramped up here in the last little bit.
Look at that. All right, so here's Hardy. The camera is going to be looking into the hill on this, but we're going to take a look at the camera in a minute. This is 412, so as you're heading up the hill through here, and you turn right to go into Cherokee Village, and then you come up to Highland, that turn through here is really close to where the possible tornado is. It's probably going to cross over this, this hill or mountain right through here, And then hopefully we can look down Main Street and see if we can see something here.
Some very strong wind right now in Hardy.
Let's go to the Hardy camera.
Just see that camera just shaking. Heavy rain in Hardy right now, vivid lightning.
All right, let's start spinning the camera around to Main Street. Well, I don't know. Let's see.
We have part of the tower that's kind of in the way there. So if we see something, what we're looking at right now, I believe, is now west, back towards, as you head up Highway 412 back towards McDonald. So we may need to swing that back more towards the left, because now we're looking more towards McDonald and up Highway 63 back towards Mammoth Spring.
This is going to come really close to this camera.
And they're going to go ahead and issue a tornado warning for the southern storm, a downstream tornado warning, which will probably clip parts of Izard. We'll move into southern Izard County, so a new tornado warning now in effect for Izard County, and it does include the city of Melbourne.
What we're going to have to watch for here, tell you what we're going to do. Let's spin it around and look towards Main Street. Kind of looking right now towards that the 412-63 intersection.
The good news is that we haven't received any damage reports. The Izard County Sheriff's Office hasn't received any damage reports in Melbourne as the storm moved through there. Power is out in Melbourne, but like Mel Coleman said a while ago, it could very well have been, the substation could have been struck by lightning, because there's some vivid lightning with this storm.
Let's stay right here for a minute. I want to stay on this camera. Hardy, Highland, Cherokee Village, all of you need to be in your tornado safe spot right now. The storm is coming through. The rotation's coming through Highland right now. If there's something there, it would come over right through there. Someone on the road right now. If you know anybody on the road right now, tell them to take cover. It's not what you want to be in right now. All right, this is going to, if there's something there, it's going to be crossing right in front of us. Of course, it's dark. You've got the terrain there also. We'll have to watch the power. We need everyone in Hardy to be in your tornado safe spot. Ozark Acres, Baker area, we need you in your tornado safe spot right now.
And on that southern storm, I want to just go and give you some times of arrival coming into your towns for the southern storm that's back into Stone County. This is coming into Mountain View at 3:09. Guyan 3:24, and eventually into Melbourne at 3:35. So you still got about another 40 minutes or so coming into Melbourne for that storm down to your south. And people in Melbourne probably don't know about this storm right now because they don't have power. Mm-hmm. So if you know anybody in Melbourne, call them, let them know there's another storm coming out of Mountain View or south of Mountain View right now that's headed generally into their area within the next 30, 35, 40 minutes.
All right, so Melbourne's still getting no damage reports out of there. That's great. Violet Hill, we're getting some damage reports. Don't know the extent of that. What you're looking at there is a live look from our weather camera in Hardy. The rotation is going to pass really, really close to there. There's cars out on the road right now heading into the rotation. I see them stopping there. They may be. There is a shelter at the Old Hardy Gym that they usually open up.
So they may be going in that area because that's where the Old Hardy Gym, I believe, is near that Bill's grocery store in Hardy. Okay. So folks may be heading there if that shelter is open. I'm not sure. Now, I don't know if it's open or not, but that's where.
Time is running out on that, so we need these people off the road. If you're listening to us on the radio right now and you're driving down Main Street in Hardy, stop driving out of town right there. All right, look at the inflow starting to come in. You see the wind going from left to right on the street there. Some intense wind going on right now.
And the new tornado warning has been issued for Randolph County. Just an extension of this warning coming out of Sharp County. It does include Raven and Springs, does include Dalton. Looks like we may have just lost that Hardy camera.
There it is.
So if you live in Raven Springs, Dalton, this should stay north of Pocahontas. But
Here's the deal. I'm not sure, just judging off what we just now saw. So the camera sits right here. And we were looking this direction right here. And I saw really intense winds coming right through here. We may have just had a tornado cross 412 right there. Coming in. I would be willing to bet there's a tornado right there right now.
I would too, and if it's not, that's at least some very, very strong winds. We got the
camera's back. Okay.
The camera back.
So now look at the wind now. If you look at the rain on the road, now it's coming from the camera outward. So I think we just now had a tornado cross. Possibly. There's a gas station down there. It may have been a little bit farther than that gas station that sits right through here. But that's a really, really bad signature right there.
If there was a tornado, there's a possibility that could have went right there before you got to the 63 bypass, the new bypass that goes up and around Hardy. Instead of going through downtown, it kind of goes up and around Hardy. Could have went through that area, but it's now moving into Ozark Acres. A lot of people live in those communities in Ozark Acres. Stellar Stores up there, Baker, Cemetery Road's up there. So,
lost camera again. Do me a favor. We've got Max 2 back here. If we could get Max 1 on here and just flip flop them. Thank you very much. Go back in here. So the tornado warning, we got one in Stone and Izard County. We've got one likely on the ground and right now just went through really close to Hardy. It's going through Ozark Acres right now. It would be.
And we do know, we do have a tweet from somebody saying that their Hardy shelter is open. So
that might be what it is. This tornado may be clipping the northern side of Ozark Acres right now.
Ozark Acres up into the Armstrong community up there north of Ozark Acres. You need to be in your tornado safe spot now, and just looking downstream, Raven and Springs, or if you live between north of Raven and Springs up to Dalton and Warm Springs, this storm is on your doorstep. This is not going to take long for this storm to move in. And then for our friends in Southern Oregon and Southern Ripley County, Myrtle to Pryor, new tornado warning not in effect for Oregon or Ripley counties just yet. But this storm will be moving in within the next 15 minutes into southern parts of Oregon and Ripley County. The storm's moving very, very fast.
Say Hardy comes back. All right, let's take another look at it, see if we see anything. It looks like raining heavily. I would think it's a good sign that we have power back. Keep looking down. Let's go to the left just a little bit. And we'll keep looking kind of that direction, see if we see anything illuminated in the lightning there. Probably won't. But I still think we treat this as if it's on the ground. Especially
as we get into these more rural, more hillier communities in northern Sharp County and Randolph County. You just won't be able to see this storm coming over the hill. It'll come over a hill and be right on top of you before you know it. So,
yeah. Take cover. Let's go back to radar then. Okay, so it's moving out of the Ozark Acres area. Let's put some storm tracks on this once again. This storm's really been holding together too. Is it still moving northeast at 50?
45.
45. Ooh, it's gonna try to track the table there. Let me reposition this. I'm glad that we're not getting a ton of damage reports coming in yet, but I'm a little worried that that's just because it's the middle of the night right now. All right, there we go. That's going to have in the Armstrong community here in the next 5 minutes. Dalton at 322, 330 Warm Springs, Breakville 335, Pointer at 341. But this is going to be coming pretty close to Raventon Springs, though, I believe also.
Very, very close. If it's not in, maybe just a little bit north of Raventon Springs, but if you live in Raventon Springs, you need to be in your tornado safe spot just in case. It makes a little jog to the east, and that rotation just continues to be impressive, even this far away from the radar up into the hills.
So that's
very, very impressive rotation.
Moving to the northeast. So, yeah, it's going to be close to Raventon Springs. We need everybody in Dalton to be in your tornado safe spot right now.
Weather Service saying likely tornado over the Armstrong community right now. And radar just points to that. Very, very strong rotation near Armstrong. That's a very, very rural part of Sharp County, but still, folks live up here. We need to make sure everybody who lives in the northern parts of Sharp County and then into northwestern Randolph County, Raventon Springs, Dalton, Warm Springs, north and west of Pocahontas. This isn't going to be a storm for Pocahontas. You have a loud thunderstorm in Pocahontas right now, but that's just some hail moving up towards Maynard and north sides of Pocahontas. The tornadic storm is back off about due north of Williford right now, moving through northern Sharp County, and will move into northwestern sections of Randolph County.
Boy, the lightning on this is just wild also. Well, there's a look at the storm. So I think we probably had a little bit of hail come through Pocahontas also, some passing to the south of Maynard right now. But that is a hail producer there. That is not showing any signs of rotation at the moment, but it's kind of in a bad radar spot. There's our possible tornado right there passing north of Raventon Springs. Dalton's going to be in the path of this. I think Maynard may stay south of this also, and then it's going to start going into Missouri.
They've gone ahead and issued a new tornado warning. It's that small slither there of Oregon County, Ripley back to the Oregon-Ripley County line. And the reason you see these weird boxes for Oregon County and then for Randolph County and nothing for Ripley County, we're right here on 3 different Weather Service offices. So Randolph County, Sharp County, that's the Weather Service office out of Little Rock. Oregon County is the Weather Service office out of Springfield, Missouri. And then Ripley County, the warnings are issued from the Weather Service office in Paducah, Kentucky. So we'll likely see a new tornado warning soon come out for parts of Ripley County as the storm moves into that direction.
Yeah, it looks like Weather Service is saying very strong rotation over the Armstrong community right now.
And there's that new tornado warning now for Ripley County, but some differences here. We've got the considerable tag for Randolph and Oregon and Sharp counties, but Paducah went ahead and just did a regular tornado warning. But don't let that fool you. Very strong rotation, a very strong storm. If you live in Ripley County, treat this as a tornado on the ground right now.
So that possible tornado sitting right here. North of that, you've got large hail right here, and then over here, no tornado threat, but you've got large hail coming around the Maynard community. Maybe a little bit of hail just went through Pocahontas, and then up some up here north of Highway 115, probably up here around Pointer. Some hail also. So these are some nasty storms moving through right now.
And Ron,
Yeah.
since the rain has cleared up in Hardy as the lightning flashes, you can see the backside and the characteristics of this storm.
Oh yeah, let's go to Hardy camera real fast.
As the lightning flashes.
Be interesting to see if we see anything looking from the backside of the storm.
We've been talking with the sheriff's offices in Izard and in Sharp County. No damage in Melbourne, no damage right now reported in Sharp County, but still this storm just passed through Hardy and Cherokee Village. So right now parts where the storm has gone through Sharp County, no damage yet. Hopefully we don't see any damage reports out of Sharp County, but we are still working the phones and making sure that we get the latest information.
Just lost power again on the Hardy camera.
It's back.
All right, so it's, well, you can't even see the backside of that storm, so it's, I think because of the terrain, we're not going to be able to see much. All right, let's go back to radar then. All right, let's, we need to start focusing on new tornado warning also coming in. It's over, now that one doesn't look as healthy.
No, and the Weather Service is pointing at that. It's not a well put together storm right now. Still could be a hail threat, but it appears that the storm is weakening. It's moved over the area that first storm moved through, so it's probably used up some energy at least from that first storm. Used up some energy through that area, so that's some good news. This storm that southern storm is a bit weaker. We still have to watch it.
All right, we need Dalton in your tornado safe spot right now. Hold on, we got new info coming in.
That's going to be for storms outside of Region 8, going back up into South Missouri, north of Poplar Bluff.
All right. So Dalton's in next in path on this one. So once again, recapping, if you're just waking up with this, tornado warning is in effect now. Almost cleared Sharp County now. This is almost all into Randolph County.
Yeah, this storm looks like now right there on the Sharp Randolph County line, north of Ravenden Springs. This will move up towards Dalton and Warm Springs here in the next little bit. Let's zoom out just a little bit and give you a track, because this will move into Ripley County and move in towards Donovan before too long. Jace, how fast is that storm moving?
45.
45 miles per hour. So we'll go from right here in northern Randolph County, 45 miles per hour is off towards the north and east. That puts it in Dalton at 320, Warm Springs 328. So that's Dalton, Warm Springs, that's in Randolph County. That then moves over Pointer there in southern Ripley County at 339, 349 in Donovan. So it is 310 now. You've got 40 minutes between to get into your safe spot there in Donovan. Do it in the next 10 to 15 minutes as you live in Donovan. Dalton now, need to be in your safe spot prior. Pointer now, Ravenden Springs now, that the storm moves off towards the north and the east.
And they are talking about maybe issuing a severe thunderstorm warning for Stone County there for the hail threat rather than the tornado.
So that's some good news. If that storm can weaken enough, large hail will do some damage, but as long as we can get that down below a tornado warning, that will be good news there in Stone County and Izard County. We've had that storm move through that area, this first storm that's now into Randolph County, that has moved through that area that's now continuing off towards the northeast. This storm is mostly in Randolph County now, but if you live right there along the county line, you need to be still sheltering from Armstrong back up through the upper James Creek area, Taylor Road. Storm's now moved a little bit farther to the north. We'll grab this and give you some more areas. So this is Newblin Ridge Road. There's Dells Creek Road. There's Dalton right there. McReynolds Road. Oak Ridge Road that takes you back down to towards the Oak Ridge Central Schools, back down to Ravenden. There's Cooley Road. If any of these roads are familiar to you, you need to be in your tornado safe spot at this time. So what we're looking at is an area of rotation that's near Dalton. We have pretty strong winds blowing in this area right here. This is where we're looking at. This is north of Ravenden Springs. This is going to stay north of Pocahontas. Should stay north of Maynard, but we want you in Maynard to be in your tornado safe spot right now, as this storm does not include the city of Maynard, but just for safety's sake, Maynard over to Dalton, Ravenden Springs, you need to be in your tornado safe spot right now.
And this also includes M Store and Warm Springs as well. So get in your safe spots. Can't stress this enough. It's a very concerning look there.
Yeah, very strong rotation near Upper James Creek Road. We don't zoom in even further right here. It's moving pretty quickly. Du Bois Road, that's where the storm is right now. There's King Road. Let me clear off this this circle here. Du Bois Road, King Road. There's Upper James Creek Road, J. Beulah Road. This is where we're looking at very rural areas, but we do have people who live out in this area, in this parts of Randolph County. So we need everybody who lives in this area. I'm calling out road names that you think your family may live down. We need you to be in your tornado safe spot. If you live in Dalton, we need you to be in your tornado safe spot. There's the 11-Point River. I believe that's the river that runs up through Dalton. There's Baker Den Road. There's Highway 93, so this is getting real close to Highway 93 as it continues to move off towards the northeast at a pretty good clip.
And Dalton at 320, Warm Springs at 327. And this is going to be on top of Doniphan at 346. So Dalton, Warm Springs, Elm Store, you're running out of time. I'd get in the most interior room of your house or the lowest floor. As Ron was saying earlier, tornado damage, when you're going through and looking at it, you see those interior rooms still standing. So interior room or the lowest floor, grab a helmet, grab a mattress, grab pillows, blankets, and cover your head with anything you can find.
Yes, especially if you live here in northern Randolph County. Pretty still, very strong rotation, getting close to Highway 93. That's the road that runs between Dalton and eventually towards Myrtle there in South Missouri. It changes over into a different road as it crosses into South Missouri. Still, tornado warning for parts of Oregon County, for Ripley County, and for Randolph County for this storm. You have a couple of minutes if you live in Warm Springs to get in your tornado safe spot. If you live in Dalton, the storm's on top of you right now. This is the area we're watching right to the west and southwest of Dalton. But this storm's moving pretty quickly. It will be on Dalton probably at this time. If you live in Doniphan, you got about 15 to 20 minutes to get into your tornado safe spot. If you live in Pointer and Gatewood, you need to be in your tornado safe spot now. If you have a way to get to a substantial shelter, if you live in Doniphan, get there now. If you don't feel like your home is a safe spot, but you know somebody who has a more sturdier safe spot, you have just a few minutes to get there. You're starting to run out of time as you live in Doniphan to get to that safe spot as it moves, continues to move off towards the north and east at a pretty good clip at about 45 to 50 miles per hour. Zoom in a little bit, to the back end tighter here. Tornado warning's been canceled for Izard and Stone County. We know that. Still continue with this tornado warning near Dalton. Dells Creek Road, that's where the storm is now, right there. Dells Creek Road to Highway 93. Dalton Community, Coakley Road, that's where we see where you need to be in your tornado safe spot now, Coakley Road. If you live in Raven, this storm is now north of you. So if you live in Raven and Springs, excuse me, this storm is now north of you. There's Raven and Springs at the bottom of your screen. Dalton, then Warm Springs, and then eventually into southern parts of Ripley County as this storm moves towards the north and east.
That is still a very concerning look for Warm Springs and Elm Store. Doniphan going to be on you in about 20 minutes, so make sure you get in your tornado safe spot.
Yeah, this is going to be crossing. It's be crossing over the state line here shortly. Still, like you guys said, it still looks like tight rotation coming very close to Dalton.
Very tight rotation. And this is looking from the Memphis radar very, very far away, but
We are looking very far away, but you can definitely see where that rotation's at. It's moving just to the west of Dalton. But if you're in Dalton, Warm Springs, also Myrtle, you're included in this as well. Here's Warm Springs, and it's going to be on you in about 5 minutes. Make sure you're getting as low as you can. And if you have to get in a bathtub, do that, and make sure you grab as much clothing, blankets, pillows, anything you can to protect your body. I'm going to go ahead and zoom out and I want to take a wider look at this, and we're going to put on a storm track for this. And we still have that severe thunderstorm warning back into Stone County. They canceled the tornado warning, still a hell threat with that. But let's go ahead and put on some times for this. This is moving off towards the northeast at about 40 miles an hour. Whoa, we did not mean to do that there. Let's go ahead and clear that off. Step off screen.
When we're talking about that, this is also producing some very large hail. Getting photos of at least golf ball size hail a little bit earlier in Cherokee Village. So, tornado threat, hail threat. This storm Myrtle, Donovan, into Warm Springs.
Yeah, and you can still see where that rotation's at, just south of Myrtle. And let's go ahead and zoom in to maybe some street views as well. Here's some new information coming in. A considerable tag on that in Randolph County. We're going to go ahead and, if you're on Dials Creek Road, Floyd, and Highway 93 just west of Dalton, make sure you get to the lowest floor of a sturdy building. If you don't think your house is sturdy enough and you have a neighbor next door that has a house that's sturdy, go over there, wake them up, get inside. If you don't think your house is substantial enough to survive this or to withstand a tornado. And here's Warm Springs. This is next in the path, just moving west of Dalton, and you can see that area of rotation right in here, moving across Dials Creek Road. And as we take a wider perspective of this storm, this is about to cross the state line here within the next few minutes. And there's a new scan right there, still a very concerning look, moving just to the west of Dalton. Dalton, you're still in this warning. Still want you in your safe spots. Still in your safe spot, moving across Highway 93. Aaron, are you seeing anything back there that looks concerning to you?
No, just still this area of rotation that continues, and it may not seeing any debris being lofted in this storm, but still this is a storm that's very, very far away from the radar. But still some pretty intense inflow into the storm. It still has a lot of energy to work with.
Yeah, the National Weather Service pointed that out. We were talking about that cap earlier. That cap is gone. It has eroded, so these storms are free to explode. Now, there is a cap way back off towards the east, but right here is Donovan along Highway 160. Here's Missouri Highway 21 as well. Here's Gatewood, still including in this warning. So Gatewood and Donovan in about 10 minutes. Donovan in about 15. Get in your safe spots now. This is moving just to the west of Dalton. I'm not getting any indication. Are you hearing anything of damage there along Highway 93, Aaron?
Not seeing any damage from this storm in Randolph County yet, but we continue with this tornado warning for Randolph County until 3:45. And it's not going to stay in Randolph County between now and 3:45. It will be well off in Ripley County within the next 10 minutes or so. So it's 3:21 right now. 3:30, this storm likely is in Ripley County. But if you live in Pointer, Donovan, Gatewood, Warm Springs, now you need to be in your tornado safe spot, as this storm is still very, very strong, north of Dalton now, heading towards Warm Springs. If you live Coakley Road, Baker Den Road, Farm Trail, County Road 393. If any of those roads mean anything to you, you need to be in your tornado safe spot. If you live on Baker Den Road, Dally Trail, into Warm Springs, Highway 93, Highway 251. 251 takes you back up to into South Missouri and then back down towards Ingram and Pocahontas. If you live anywhere right there along the state line between Dalton and Warm Springs, eventually into the Burr community in Ripley County, P Highway, Z Highway, Gatewood, Highway 142, and to Ponder, this storm is moving in your direction. You have 15 minutes or so if you live in Donovan to get into your tornado safe spot. We still continue with a tornado. The Weather Service office in Little Rock continues to say tornado damage threat is considerable with this a possible very large and damaging tornado. moving through northern Randolph County. This is north of Pocahontas. You may hear sirens in Pocahontas, but the tornado is not affecting you. But if you live in Donovan, you need to be in your tornado.
Moving Aaron, about 40,
50 miles per hour. So that puts it in Donovan about 345.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to expand that out. Nope.
326 Warm Springs, Pointer 336, 345 Donovan, Flatwoods 355, and by 4 o'clock it's moving towards Poplar Bluff. So you still got a good 40 to 50 minutes if you live in Poplar Bluff, but this storm is downstream from you. It's about 15 minutes or so from Donovan, and you know how fast storms can get to you from Donovan to Poplar Bluff. So just keep that in mind if you live in Butler County. Tornado warning not in effect for Butler County right now, but if this storm holds together, it will likely warrant a tornado warning eventually for Poplar Bluff.
Did you say 50?
50.
Yeah, this is, so right here it is 329 Warm Springs. It's 324. You're running out of time in Warm Springs. 334 for Burr, 348 for Donovan, and 358 for Flatwoods. If you know anyone that lives in these towns, or if I'm calling out your town, make sure you get to the lowest floor, cover up your head if you can. National Weather Service still expecting or saying very considerable damage from this storm. So even if we're not seeing a tornado, we are definitely still seeing some strong winds, Aaron.
We are, and the Weather Service continues the tornado warning for Ripley County until 3:45. Capable producing the possible tornado is still in Arkansas, but right there on the Missouri-Arkansas state line, right there at Warm Springs. This continues to move off towards the northeast. They're saying 60, so anywhere from 50 to 60 miles per hour. The storm's moving into Donovan. So you've got less than 15 minutes now if you live in Donovan to be in your tornado safe spot. If you're in Gatewood, you need to be there now. If you live in Pointer, you need to be there now, along with Ponder there in central parts of Ripley County.
And it would not hurt, Aaron, to go ahead and have people in Poplar Bluff to be ready as well. Here's Warm Springs. Here's Missouri Highway 251 and State Highway P here. Let me go ahead and move this around. I'm going to go ahead and get out in front of this. And as you can see, Highway 251, Highway P as well. And as we go further north, Highway 140 or 142, this is going to move just to the south of Gatewood. If you're in Gatewood, get in your tornado safe spots. Warm Springs, you're running out of time as well. Get in your tornado safe spot there. If you're on Highway P or Highway 142, you're listening to us. Stop driving. Also on Highway 251 as well. We're going to take a wider perspective on this. I checked on that storm to the south. It's moving through Stone County. That's still a hail producer, but as you can see, right here's our area of rotation, still moving off towards the northeast, and they expand that. No, not yet. I thought they expanded that warning back out. So right here is Donovan, and then right here is Highway 21, and then right here is State Highway 160 as well. And right up here is Poplar Bluff as well. Here's Neelyville. If you're in Poplar Bluff, go ahead and get ready to get into your safe spot. Make sure you're going over your severe weather plans now. This is going to be moving into Poplar Bluff within the next 30 to 45 minutes. And there's another scan. That's a very concerning look right there, Aaron.
Very concerning look right now. That's getting ready to cross over into Ripley County. Still very strong rotation over Warm Springs if you live along P Highway, Forest Road 54, County Road EE2, Liebig there in Ripley County. Just naming off some streets. DD Highway, County Road P1, County Road Z2AA, County Road Z2, County Road P3, and then Missouri Road.
And there's not much holding this storm back for it to weaken anytime soon. So Poplar Bluff, make sure you're getting ready to get in your tornado safe spot, along with Donovan as well, along Highway 21 and also along Highway 160 there as well. So right here's our area of concern. Here comes a new radar scan, still right in this area where the reds meet the greens, and this is moving off towards the northeast. Here's Highway 21. Here's Donovan, and this is moving off. How fast did you say, Aaron? 40, 50?
60 miles per hour.
60, so it sped up a little bit.
Probably getting some large hail right now in Gatewood. Large hail eventually moving into Poplar Bluff on the north sides of this storm.
You know, that was something I was looking behind the scenes here on, is how large some of the hail is. We've got golf ball and baseball size hail coming through.
So Warm Springs, you're running out of time. 331, Donovan 347, Flatwoods 355, Poplar Bluff coming in at 412. So make sure you are in your tornado safe spot. That's about 35 minutes there for Poplar Bluff. So make sure you're going over your tornado precaution plans there. Warm Springs and Donovan here within the next 5 to 10 minutes. So you're running out of time. Still a severe thunderstorm warning south of Ash Flat. Just a little bit of rotation, but mainly some hail producers there and just north of Pocahontas as well. Did you guys say y'all were hearing of some hail reports?
Oh yeah, I mean, if you look, let me show you something real fast. If you look at the hail report, hail algorithms on this, look at that right there.
Yeah, you can see the clear track of where this supercell has been going just by the hail reports alone.
I've seen some large hail in Cherokee Village when that storm went through Cherokee Village. Looked like golf ball size hail through Cherokee Village a little bit ago.
And once you start mixing in 60, 70 mile per hour winds with golf ball size hail, you start getting into that wind-driven hail, you know, so make sure you're staying away from windows as well. Anybody in Donovan, Poplar Bluff along 67 there, make sure you're waking them up. Give them a call, give them a shout, let them know they have a very dangerous storm moving in.
So yeah, right now tornado warning, the area of rotation has moved into Ripley County. This is now in mostly, we can give the all clear for Dalton, we can give the all clear for Raven and Springs. This is now into Ripley County. Large hail, Gatewood along Highway 142, eventually up towards Highway 160. Then this circulation moves into Donovan within the next 10 minutes. So really no time left to get to your safe spot if you live between Donovan and Pointer, but you have very, very little time to get to your tornado safe spot if you live in Donovan, Flatwoods, and if you live in Poplar Bluff, you still have a few minutes to get to your tornado safe spot. On top of this, we have large hail that's falling down in evening shade with this storm moving into Sharp County, so severe thunderstorm warning down there, but we continue with this tornado warning for southwestern parts of Ripley County.
Looks like Randolph County is now in the clear on the tornado warning also. There's, once again, a look at the hail swath on this. If you notice, let me start you down here. It went through Melbourne. You can see where you get into the purples here, some really large hail. You're talking golf ball size, maybe even baseball size hail. I had some pictures around the Highland area where it almost looked like baseball size, south of Cherokee Village and Hardy. And notice that the hail did start getting smaller as it went into Randolph County. Hopefully that's a sign also that maybe the storm was weakening just a bit. But now the tornado threat has moved out of Randolph County. It is now moving into Ripley County. And now it kind of has Donovan in its sights now. So there's the rotation here. Here's Donovan. Doesn't look as pronounced as what it was, but let me tell you, this thing's really far away from the radar site also. Is there something new coming in on this?
No, that was for a storm that's up north of Poplar Bluff heading towards Cape.
Okay, let's regroup for just a second. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put just on radar showing you where it's raining and widening out the view. We got the tornado warning in effect for Ripley County. Randolph County, you're in the clear now. You are in the clear now. It has moved over the state line. We've got large hail coming in to Sharp County. That is why the severe thunderstorm warning is in effect. So that's the two warnings that we're dealing with right now. This is something we're going to be dealing with, though, for a while, because let me kind of scan back here. The front and the squall line is still way back here through parts of southwest Missouri back into Oklahoma.
And there's some small storms, there's little bubblers that are popping up south and west of Little Rock. We'll have to watch those as those move towards the north and east. They could weaken, but we're in an environment
In fact, they're
outside. You
here.
step outside, it's 3:30 in the morning,
Yeah.
and it feels like we're sitting at 3:30 in the afternoon in the middle of April.
Right.
So very, very warm, very muggy conditions are outside still. Outside, we just have to watch these little bubblers. You can't trust a storm tonight, this morning across parts of Region 8 because we've already had such strong storms move through. We'll just have to keep an eye on. There's nothing severe down there right now, but still some storms that we'll have to watch as if they hold together and move into White and Jackson County.
So those are the two storms we're watching right now. I'm a little hesitant to say if this one has weakened or not, but it has looked healthy all the way back to Clinton. This supercell has been plowing through, so it's going to continue to move through close to Donovan, close to Poplar Bluff. We'll have to watch this storm down here. Large hail with it passing near evening shade at the moment. Don't think we've seen much in the way of
There has been persistent weak rotation with this storm. Can't trust it. They're not issuing a tornado warning for it, but you know, in this environment, just can't quite trust it just yet. But at the very least, very large hail falling out of this storm near evening shade.
Yeah, that's a big storm right now. You can see the hail core with it. This thing's building up 45, 50,000 feet.
Now the warning for that storm that's moving through evening shade, it's moving at 50 miles an hour, 60 mile per hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail. I wouldn't be surprised if some of that hail is slightly bigger than quarter-sized hail.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, especially given the environment and given what we've already been seeing on this. Also, they've extended that severe thunderstorm warning kind of over the same locations that have had the tornado warning here in just the past little bit.
Yeah, the hail core doesn't look as impressive on the Little Rock radar, but if you look from Memphis, very impressive hail core as the beam's kind of shooting from Memphis more into the storm, while from Little Rock it's kind of cutting through some other showers. So there's probably some pretty large hail between evening shade and Poughkeepsie right now along the Strawberry River.
Storm's pushing 50,000 feet. It's a big storm.
So that's that cap we were talking about, and I gave the
Yeah.
illustration. You know, you take a Coke bottle, you shake it up, and the cap keeps a lid on it. But in the instability we have, you uncap that top, the Coke spews out, and that's what the air is doing. It's just being pulled farther and farther up into the atmosphere. That helps that hail kind of stay lofted up in the atmosphere longer as the wind's that strong. And that's why we get the very large hail falling in parts of Sharp County right now. We had that large hail earlier that moved through Cherokee Village and into up through Hardy, and now probably some very large hail on top of a potential tornado heading into Donovan right now.
Yeah. There's the rotation. You can see it. It's where the reds and the greens meet up, and that's it. You kind of make a path down through Randolph County. So if you continue that up, it's coming right into Donovan. If there's anything there, it's still going to come right into Donovan.
And they issued that new severe thunderstorm warning that's going to go right behind this tornado warning.
You guys said this thing picked up some speed, didn't it?
Yeah, Paducah has it going at about 60.
All right. We'll put a storm track on it. Give it should include now Poplar Bluff. So it's going to have it at Poplar Bluff at 4:08. We're at 3:36 right now. Donovan the next few minutes. Flatwoods at 3:50. Angus at 4:01. Poplar Bluff 4:08. And then Ash Flat at 4:17. We'll be coming really close to Poplar Bluff at 4:08.
Still not getting any damage reports from this storm. The power outages are right now really confined to Melbourne. Looking at North Arkansas Electric, just some spotty outages between Melbourne and Horseshoe Bend, and a few more as you get into parts of Sharp County, but it not widespread. But with this storm, it's pretty far away from the radar there in Donovan, but still very, very strong rotation moving into the Donovan area right now. This is kind of between Highway 21 and Highway 142, and it's going to probably meet where those two highways meet before it crosses over the Current River into Donovan. So if you're in Donovan, you have probably less than 5 minutes before this storm is on top of you. Flatwoods, You got about 5 to 10 minutes that should stay north of Naylor and Neelyville. And then you've got about 15, 20 minutes to get to your safe spot in Poplar Bluff before you really need to be where you're going to be as the storm. We'll probably see a new tornado warning pretty soon come out for parts of Butler County as the storm races to the northeast at 60 miles per hour. This is highway speeds, and this is highway speeds going in a straight line and no, it's not stopping at stoplights. So Donovan, it's 338 now, 4 to 342, moving into your hometown, 350 Flatwoods, 4 o'clock in Angus, 407 in Poplar Bluff, and then 416 in Ash Hill. So you got about 30 minutes before you get to Poplar Bluff. And then that's for a storm that's outside of Region 8. That ding you heard, that's for a storm that's outside of Region 8. On top of the tornado threat, large hail threat moving into Donovan right now, you're already hearing lightning, hearing thunder and seeing lightning in Poplar Bluff and Neelyville. That's just from storms out ahead of this main storm. And what could happen, what would be the best case scenario is that those storms that's in Poplar Bluff right now, using up some of that atmosphere and helping this storm back into Donovan weaken just a little bit.
You know, all that lightning there, like even in Clay County, you look at that lightning all around Corning and those storms popping up there. Storm anxiety's high right now, so I'm sure that people are being woken up by the thunder right now. And just rest assured, if you're in Clay County, there's nothing too pressing right now outside. Just, you know, don't go outside because of the lightning, but the tornado threats up there around Donovan.
Yeah, you just had some heavy rain success over to McDougal. Also some heavy rain between Pickett and Knob right now. Really heavy rain, nothing severe. Maynard down to north of Pocahontas. But we continue with that tornado warning for Ripley County, and then we still have this pretty strong storm that's moving out in through central parts of Sharp County, and just maybe too far away from the radar, but there may be just a little bit of rotation there near Evening Shade, but nothing terrible. Storm near Donovan still has some pretty tight rotation with it. If you're in Donovan, you have to be in your tornado safe spot right now.
What are you saying, Jace?
Yeah, that storm that's moving, not the tornado warning, but the storm to its south that's moving through Wilford, Ravenden, and Ravenden Springs, half dollar size hail. So it's a slight step up from the quarter size hail that we saw on the previous warnings. And with the environment we have today, I mean, we could see hail bigger than half dollar size in some spots.
Luckily, we haven't received any damage reports other than that damage report you got from Bottle Hill just a little bit ago.
Yeah.
But in Melbourne, we haven't had any damage reports, haven't had any more damage reports out of Sharp County or Randolph County. If you do have damage, please let us know. Just seeing some pictures behind the scenes of at least a lowering when the storm moved through Myron and Violet Hill, as people were running to take shelter from this storm a little bit earlier. So hopefully this stayed, if there was anything in this storm, it stayed aloft. But we're getting pictures of large hail, and that's now moving into Donovan with this storm. This tornado warning remains in effect. The area of rotation is now over Donovan. If you are up Highway 160, you need to be taking your tornado safe spots now east of Donovan as you head up towards Flatwoods. And eventually this crosses over into Butler County. We do not have a severe thunderstorm or tornado warning yet for Butler County, but until this storm shows some considerable weakening, I do expect a new tornado warning soon to come out for Poplar Bluff.
You know, Paducah National Weather Service is also, which issued this warning here for Donovan and for Ripley County, they're also juggling another tornado warning outside of Region 8 that has a confirmed tornado with it, so up to the north there. So they've got their hands full also.
So we're in an environment here across Region 8 for tornadoes this morning. We do have the tornado watch, and right quick, just pop that on. Tornado watch for all the counties there in purple. Every county except for Pembroke, Mississippi, Crittenden, Cross, and St. Francis, we're under a tornado watch this morning. That does include Craighead. It does include Greene and Lawrence and Clay and Dunklin and New Madrid and Butler counties. And this stretches all the way back into Little Rock because we have to watch storms that are back in the Little Rock area as well. We have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for parts of Sharp County and Randolph and Lawrence County for this storm continuing to move through. And then we have the tornado warning that's in effect for this storm near Donovan. That area of rotation now north and east of Donovan, or this radar scan shows it over Donovan, but this storm now between Donovan and Flatwoods. And it still shows some pretty tight rotation as it moves through Donovan, and hopefully we can get a call up to the Ripley County Sheriff's Office here in just a little bit and see what they're seeing up there. Zoom out and give a quick track on this storm as it moves off towards the north and east at about 60 miles per hour. That puts it in Hilltop there in Ripley County 345, Flatwoods 350, Poplar Bluff 408, Ash Hill 417, and then Duck Creek there in Stoddard County at 424. As soon as we get this past Poplar Bluff and into Stoddard County, we can start to get ready for Good Morning Region 8, which starts in about 45 minutes. But we continue with this tornado warning in effect for Ripley County for this storm that's over Donovan. If you live in Donovan, if you live along Highway 21, Steeles, Flatwoods, County Road 160, County Road K1, County Road 21N, County Road 21N10, County Road 21, County Road Y2. These road numbers may not mean a lot to a lot of people, but people in Ripley County, these mean the world. BB Highway over to County Roads 160 E13 and County Road BB1. Just to give you some roadways between Donovan and Flatwoods where you need to be in your tornado shelter as this storm moved through. And then eventually this crosses over into Butler County here before, probably before 4 o'clock.
Yeah, if there's anything in Donovan, we should be getting some reports on it pretty soon.
Just looking at how hard it's raining mode, the storm isn't as impressive as it has been. So it maybe going through a weakening phase. Maybe the rain that's been falling around Poplar Bluff to Neelyville, maybe trying to undercut some of that inflow with some cooler air, trying to choke off that storm, which would be great news if it as it heads towards Donovan. Well, they've gone ahead and dropped the tornado warning. Or the tornado warning expired at 3:45. That's what happened.
Yeah.
That is some big hell about to move into Williford.
Yeah, that storm is really looking impressive now.
Very large hail in Sharp County. We're not going to forget about our friends up in Ripley County. I still think there's possible tornado between Donovan and Flatwoods, but the National Weather Service office in Paducah, they're trying to juggle that storm and also a storm near. There's the new tornado warning that now includes Butler and Ripley counties. They're trying to juggle this storm and a pretty dangerous storm moving into Cape Girardeau right now. But new tornado warning does include Poplar Bluff for this storm that's near Donovan. It's moving towards the east at about 55 miles per hour. So just put it there on that leading edge of that storm. 55. That puts it into Dexter before too long. Flatwoods 349 next 3 minutes, 2 minutes or so. 408 in Poplar Bluff, and then Ash Hill 417 before it moves into Stoddard County, and we can hand this over to Cape. And then we have pretty large hail, and that could cause some damage as well. Let's not think that it's just a severe thunderstorm warning and large hail. We saw what large hail did last year in this area. Pretty large hail moving through parts of Ripley County, through parts of Sharp County. So we're juggling two storms right now. We have one storm that is in parts of Randolph County, Sharp County, moving into Randolph County for this storm. If you could pop up Max 1 and we'll track this storm on out as it moves. As we take a wide view, we have storms that are back towards Batesville and back toward north of Batesville. That's Cushman, and that's probably putting down some large hail as well. We have this storm, large hail, moving through Sharp County into Randolph, and then we have the tornado warning that's in effect for Ripley County into Butler County. And we'll start up here first and just show you this storm. This storm moving pretty quickly off towards the north and east, showing a little bit of weakening, but let's put on the winds, and we still have this area of rotation right here in northern parts of north of Donovan. We'll zoom in.
Aaron, they said we just got the phone with Ripley County Dispatch. No calls and no damage reports.
That's good news. That's good news in Donovan right now. In Ripley County, no damage at this time, but still have this area of rotation near Stills, Missouri. This is along and north of Highway 160, and it's moving quickly. It's not taking any time making it into Flatwoods. It's in Flatwoods now. We can give an all clear for Donovan. You've got some gusty winds moving into Donovan right now, but this storm, the tornadic part of this storm is now from Patterson Ford down to Flatwoods. There's BB Highway, there's Flatwoods, there's M Highway that runs over towards that river over there, that creek. Not sure what that one is. But this is the Butler County line. Here's the Butler County line. That's getting close to Butler County and getting closer to Poplar Bluff. Let's zoom out just a little bit. Give you a better view of how far it is from Poplar Bluff. There's Poplar Bluff. That's Poplar Bluff. There's the storm. There's Highway 160. It's about 10 minutes from Poplar Bluff. If you live in Poplar Bluff, you need to be in your tornado safe spot. If you live between Poplar Bluff and the Ripley County line, you should have already been in your safe spot, and it's right now over in eastern parts of Ripley County. Donovan, you are now in the clear. This should stay north of Naylor. So Naylor, you are good this morning, but if you live along Highway 160, back to Highway 60, and Highway 67, you have to be in your tornado safe spot right now. Tornado warning remains in effect for central Butler County, back into eastern parts of Ripley County for this storm that's right now along Highway, really right there along Highway 160. Put back on how hard it is raining. Probably got some hail in Neelyville right now. Some large hail possibly falling in Neelyville. We have some large hail between Poplar Bluff and Dexter right now. We have this potential tornado right now between Donovan and Flatwoods that continues to move up towards Poplar Bluff and into Butler County. Don't want to forget the large hail that's falling in parts of Sharp and fixing to move into Randolph County. This is over Williford right now. Very, very large hail near Williford. And then even farther back towards the south, back towards Cushman, another storm that's building up that could produce some large hail. Wouldn't be surprised to see a new severe thunderstorm warning for that storm that's near Cushman that will move towards Cave City and Evening Shade as well. Give you the full view of Region 8. Jonesboro, we are dry. Paragould, Blytheville, Harrisburg, nothing happening along in our areas. Back to Newport, even in Batesville, we don't have anything in Batesville proper, but towards the north we have some storms. And then as we zoom out, there's the cold front with the developing squall line back in Oklahoma. This still has to move through Region 8. The cold front still has to move through Region 8, and that will bring us more showers and thunderstorms later on this morning. But let's go back, and I want to go back to the tornado warning that's in effect. That's the biggest threat we have right now. It's right here on the edges of Region 8, but we have friends who live and watch us up through Ripley and Butler County, so we need to make sure that they are aware of the storm. We've been with this storm since it's been back into Arkansas, and the rotation, it's there. It's not as well defined as it has been, but still pretty tight rotation over Flatwoods, getting ready to cross over into Butler County. Poplar Bluff, 10 minutes or so. This will be moving into your area. If you have not made it to your safe spot, make sure you finish up those plans now to get to your tornado safe spot if you live in Poplar Bluff. If you live in Donovan, the storm is now east of you, northeast of you. You can now come out of your safe spot if you live in Donovan, and anywhere from Donovan back down towards the west when you were in the tornado warning. But if you live in Poplar Bluff, you need to be in your tornado safe spot now. Anybody that's west of the Black River need to be in your tornado safe spot right now. And Butler County, back into Ripley County, this storm's moving pretty quickly off towards the north and east at about 55 to 60 miles per hour. Chase, you got anything?
I do not. No, just still some large hail falling to the south. It doesn't look as pronounced as it did, but moving just over Williford, Highway 412, moving into Ravenden Springs. This is at least half dollar size, possibly even bigger. Doesn't look as pronounced as it did on those previous scans, but we still have we're still dealing with the tornado warning that's moving through parts of near Flatwoods and Poplar Bluff along Highway 160 there, Aaron.
Yeah, we'll continue with those storms right there. This is still a tornado warning that's in effect. This is for Ripley County. This is for Butler County. This is for areas now Flatwoods back to Poplar Bluff and eventually towards Ash Hill here in eastern parts of Butler County. The storm is over eastern parts of Ripley now, fixing to cross into western Butler. And we'll zoom in. I want to give you some streets. I want to make sure we have our streets and people who live in this area. Not too many people live in this area, but Butler County Road, 456, M Highway, County Road 462 in Butler County. Over into Ripley County, County Road K5, and really towards the Budapest community. Rotation looking from Paducah is not as pronounced, but we still look from it from Memphis. You can still see it. A pretty good area of rotation. So we're still going to watch this rotation. Now kind of flowing on the northern side of this tornado warning. So it's on a northeasterly projection. So this takes it into Butler County. It's right in this area right here. Still some nice rotation continuing through eastern parts of Ripley County, moving into western Butler County, kind of on the northern edge of this warning. So if you're just crossed over, if you live along there's Highway 60, I believe, that runs up towards, the Highway 60 runs up to Van Buren, Missouri. If you live on Highway 60 back west of Highway 67, this storm, you need to be in your tornado safe spot as well. You're not officially in the tornado warning, but this warning is kind of riding in the northern edge of this tornado warning. So Poplar Bluff back towards the northwest, you need to be in your tornado safe spot right now. To give you some county roads, County Road 434 in Butler County, County Road 436 in Butler County, so we're in the 400s out here. Here is PP Highway, here's M Highway, there's County Road 448. So if this any of these county road numbers mean anything to you, these state route numbers mean anything to you, make sure you're getting into your tornado safe spot. Just looking at the Weather Service, not seeing anything of, not seeing any damage reports or anything like that. But we'll continue with this tornado warning until this tornado warning is until 4:30 for Butler County and parts of Ripley County here in southeast Missouri. Want to make sure that we're not missing anybody. Go ahead and we'll take a home view of this. Still severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for this storm that's moving out of Sharp County into Randolph County. Loud thunderstorms, Izard County, southwestern parts of Sharp County down towards Evening Shade and Cave City, but nothing severe there. A lot of heavy rain through Butler County. You're seeing a lot of heavy rain through Butler County right now, but the storm is not between Poplar Bluff and Neelyville. That's not the tornadic storm we're looking at. The tornadic storm is not over here towards Ash Hill. It's back here, moving out of Ripley County now, crossing into Butler County, out from the Flatwoods area, out into western parts of western parts of Butler County. Poplar Bluff, this storm is just a couple of minutes from you, just a couple of minutes from Poplar Bluff. Rotation, not as impressive as it has been, but still enough rotation there that we're going to continue to track this storm as it moves through now into western parts of Butler County, moving towards Poplar Bluff here over the next couple of minutes. Still moving towards the east at about 50, 60 miles per hour. Clear that off and try that one more time. Yeah. Estimated times, you got about 10 minutes if you live in Poplar Bluff. It's 4 o'clock now. Zoom out and clear that out and give you a better track as this moves off towards the north and east. At 60 miles per hour. At Poplar Bluff, 410. If you live in Ash Hill, 418. Duck Creek, 425. Dexter, 434. And Essex, 439. And that's farther into Stoddard County. Once you get past Ash Hill, that's crossing over the St. Francis River into Stoddard County, and that moves into the Cape Girardeau area, and they'll be covering that storm as it continues into Stoddard County. But we need to make sure for our friends that are living in Butler County, they need to be in their tornado safe spot at this time. The storm has mostly moved out of Ripley County, now into Butler County. The tornadic part of this storm has now moved out of Ripley County into Butler County. Kind of still right there on the county line right there, but the heaviest of this storm is now moving into Butler County. Flatwoods, you are now in the clear. Donovan, you're in the clear. This is now moving into the Poplar Bluff, city of Poplar Bluff, especially on the northern sides and western sides of Poplar Bluff here in the next little bit. Jace, do you have anything new, anything coming across?
No, I haven't seen anything.
Still, I'm getting some hail reports coming out of that storm, coming out of Lawrence and Sharp County, going into Randolph County. Still getting hail reports there. So
some big hail with this storm that's now moving into Randolph County, and that can do just as much damage as, you know, especially to property damage to your cars and to your roof and things. Right over Raven Springs, that stretches up towards Dalton. Hopefully this stays to the north and scoots just to the north of Pocahontas. But if you live in Maynard, that's moving into your area. And then that large hail moves into Ripley County, which is right where that banner is. So we just finished with a tornado warning for southwestern parts of Ripley County. Probably going to see a pretty strong severe thunderstorm move into that area as well. So kind of training over the same areas, and with that happening, could be also putting down some heavy rain. You could have some localized flooding as these storms kind of just move over the same areas this morning. And then we have storms that are lightning starting to pick back up in Hardy. Here's a live look from Hardy. We're looking back downtown. So we're looking probably, yes, that lightning from that storm that's over into Randolph County. Lightning is starting to pick up there. That's for a storm outside of Region 8, what you just heard.
And, you know, Aaron, the good news is once we start looking back down south of like Cave City, back down towards Batesville, we're not seeing any redevelopment back there.
And that's some good news right now. We head back through the morning time. Nothing, just some light showers right now. Mountain View back over towards the west. There was a shower a little bit earlier down south of Little Rock. I guess that has frozen up.
what's up?
Are we on max 1 or max 2 on the wall right now?
We're on max 2.
Okay, can we switch the wall back to max 1 right quick? Thank you, David. Tornado warning remains back towards for this storm. It's now moved out of Ripley County. It's now into Butler County for this storm that's near Poplar Bluff. We'll zoom in right quick and take a look at this storm and refocus ourselves. That rain moving in the Flatwoods. That's not with the tornado warning. The tornado warning is now really right here. There's Loma Linda. There's Poplar Bluff on the bottom of your screen. Heavy rain and hail coming up Highway 60, getting close to Highway 67. And we put on the wind mode. That is just very, very messy looking, but area of rotation would be right in here. So, south of Highway 67, 60, west of Highway 67. This is where we're looking at this area of rotation here in Butler County. This is not quite to Poplar Bluff yet, but it's getting close. We're getting close to Poplar Bluff for this storm. So, PP Highway, M Highway, here's TT Highway, County Road 425. Here is County Road 421 back here. Here's County Road 429 that stretches back down to PP Highway. This is where we're seeing the area of rotation. Zoom in a little bit closer. Foxwood Place, Meadowbrook Lane, County Road 432. That makes any sense to you if you know where any of those roads are. West of Poplar Bluff. That's where we're seeing the rotation. Tornado warning continues for Butler County. This is coming into Poplar Bluff now. So if you're in the city of Poplar Bluff, you need to be in your tornado safe spot. The rotation not as strong as it was a while ago, as it was moving through parts of Donovan and parts of Arkansas, but it's still there. Still some rotation. Probably continue with this warning for just a little bit longer. But if you live in Poplar Bluff, back up here towards the hospital, on the north sides of town, as it crosses the Black River, you need to be in your tornado safe spot. There's Fisk right there on the Butler-Stoddard County line. Ash Hills out here as well. That's Highway 60 that takes you from Poplar Bluff back to Dexter. That's Highway 67 that takes you from Poplar Bluff back up to Farmington. Highway 60 takes you back off over to Van Buren. We're kind of right there between Highway 60 that takes you back to Van Buren, Highway 67 on the west sides of Poplar Bluff. That's where we're seeing that area of rotation right now. Let's take a look at the radar. Hail's on the north side of this storm. Heavy rain that's back from Kewland to Fisk, most likely starting to undercut the warm air flowing into this storm. Cold air is coming out of these storms back from Kewland to Fisk and Brosley. Probably starting to undercut that storm north of Poplar Bluff, and we're seeing that weakening, which is some good news with that storm. And they're going to continue just because of how sheared the environment is across this area. They're going to continue with the tornado warning, even though the storm is not as intense as it was. Still want to be err on the side of caution just in case this does produce a tornado. We're still quite a ways away from the radar site, really any radar site from Paducah, St. Louis, or Memphis. Still looking at this storm though, rotation is not as strong as it was, but it continues a little bit there north of Poplar Bluff. We take a look at radar, zoom out, and take a look at other storms we have right now across Region 8. That shower starting to pop up, starting to build up a little bit. We have some light to moderate showers through central parts of Sharp County, and then we have this hail-producing storm, which doesn't look as impressive as it has, but still probably some hail. Raventon Springs, north of Pocahontas, back towards Dalton. That moves up to Maynard. So if you're in Maynard right now, your car is sitting outside. You have a couple minutes to get that car into the garage just to save it from some hail damage as this continues to move off towards Success and Naylor here in the next little bit. Jace, anything on your end?
I am getting reports of quarter-size hail in Raventon Springs. That's reported in Raventon Springs, quarter-size hail, but I would not be surprised to see maybe half-dollar size, which is believe, 1.25 inches. So we could see slightly bigger hail, but as of now, reported in Raven Den Springs, quarter-size hail.
Quarter-size hail in Raven Den Springs, that makes sense. We also have the hail that's probably a little bit of hail between Pocahontas and Dalton right now. Ingram community, there's Maynard. If you live in Maynard, that's Maynard right there. There's Ingram. Hail's moving into Ingram, Highway 251. Here's Highway 231. Strong winds, hail moving through that area. If we zoom back off towards the north, go back to the north, make sure we're not missing our friends in Butler County. Still tornado warning in effect for Butler County. And that goes, I think, until 4:30. So right as we start Good Morning Region 8, we have this storm that's moving through northern Butler County. Still, you see a little bit of some the twisting there. Still a little bit of trying to be a little bit of a hook, trying to keep there north of Poplar Bluff. Large hail, Ash Hill back to Duck Creek, down to Culin, heavy rain. Zoom out. The storm continues to move off towards the north and east. Put back on winds just to take a look. Still it's not impressive looking in the winds, but still we're in an environment where anything can spin up pretty quickly on the north sides of Poplar Bluff. There's the Loma Linda community. There's where the Cloverleaf there, on the north sides of Poplar Bluff, around Highway 60 and Highway 67. That's on the north side of town. The hospital's on the north side of town. There's downtown Poplar Bluff. Storm's going to go just to the north of downtown Poplar Bluff. And probably won't even get any substantial rain from this storm in Poplar Bluff. The heavy rain right now, Loma Linda to Hilliard, up eventually towards County Road 543 and County Road 553. Moving to the north of Poplar Bluff, north of downtown for the most part, the heaviest part of this storm. Zoom back out. Still some pretty good hail into Randolph County. Not seeing too much in the way of hail in Sharp County. Heavy rain, Ash Flat to Poughkeepsie. And then back up to Raven Den Springs, we have some pretty good hail and some heavy rain north of Pocahontas. This storm looks like this will stay north of Pocahontas. So the larger hail, that's going to move up towards Maynard and then eventually into southern parts of Ripley County. But we continue with heavy rain, moderate to heavy rain, Neelyville, moderate to heavy rain to Culin. That's not severe. So probably a lot of lightning there in Culin right now. Let's just turn on the lightning to show you how much lightning we have out there. A lot of lightning with this cell. That's between Poplar Bluff and Dexter. That's not the tornadic storm. The tornadic storm is north of Poplar Bluff, on the north sides of Poplar Bluff. And I don't know about y'all, but that storm is really just not as impressive on the how hard it's raining mode, or really on the wind mode. Still a little bit of rotation there, but it's not as impressive as it has been across as it was farther back towards even as it was closer to Donovan. Are y'all seeing any more hail reports, any more wind reports or anything like that?
No, we may find ourselves with a break here in just a minute.
Which would be some good news, because we still have the rest of the cold front sweeping through a little bit later. That will bring us some strong to severe thunderstorms a little bit later on this morning.
Yeah, because if you look, we can widen out here, and you can see once we get these storms out of here, the next thing up is going to be the squall line back here. So far, that's only had severe thunderstorm warning. I say only, but it's better than tornado warnings. It's had severe thunderstorm warnings with it.
Yeah, and that line, those storms are really starting to now fire back through eastern Oklahoma.
So that'll be coming in probably in 3 hours or so.
Yeah, so it's 4:15, give or take now. Good Morning Region 8 begins in 15 minutes. These storms should be moving out, and would not be surprised if they just go ahead and just drop the tornado warning for Butler County, because that storm is almost outside of the tornado warning on the north ends. And then we have some large hail in northern parts of Randolph County, north of Pocahontas. That's moving up towards Maynard and eventually towards Donovan. And then we have some lighter showers back through Sharp County, kind of going through the same areas as this first storm that caused the tornado warning has gone over. So it's moving over some worked over atmosphere up here. We've had pretty good storms north of Region 8, a couple a confirmed tornado a little bit earlier north of Stoddard County. That's now moving towards Cape Girardeau. And then we have light showers back into parts of Baxter County.
That's outside of Region 8, Aaron, but if you look, this tornado warning right here, it's been passing north of Cape Girardeau. Let me show you something here. I've been watching it behind the scenes. If you notice, there was a pretty pronounced debris signature on it. See it right there north of Marble Hill?
Marble Hill, that...
You can see the debris. If I kind of rock that back and forth, you can see.
And they're probably seeing whatever the storm picked up north of Marble Hill is now probably falling out over Apple Creek, in between Perryville and Apple Creek there in South Missouri. That storm just kind of got into a line, and the environment is just not as strong now with that storm. We still will have the tornado warning for Butler County that goes until 4:30. We have the severe thunderstorm warning for this storm north of Pocahontas. That's still putting down some large hail. These storms back towards Ravenden and Ash Flat, not as intense as that storm is in parts of Randolph County. Continue with this tornado warning, even though the possible tornado is now north of Poplar Bluff. And that's getting ready to move over into Stoddard County. So here in a minute, we may be able to reset and get ready for Good Morning Region 8 here in just a little bit. Still the area of rotation, northern Butler County. This is going to be coming out towards Lake Wapapello, which is that sits right up through the northern parts of Butler County, southern, I think that's Wayne County, into parts of Stoddard County. But that rotation is still there. It's still there over northern parts of Butler County. But that's starting to get outside of our area. They just dropped it. So they just canceled the tornado warning for Butler County. So I want to give one more wide view. We'll put on the warnings and give you a wide view of the area. Severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for Randolph County. That goes until, I think, 4:45. That warning goes till 4:45. Has some heavy rain, Poplar Bluff, rain moving into Donovan, some light showers back over into Sharp County and over into Baxter County. So what we're going to do is we will send it back for the next 15 minutes to regular program and get ready for Good Morning Region 8 that starts at 4:30. Chase and I will be here to give you the day's news and the weather. Keep an eye on these storms, and I'll be able to track out the next round that moves in just a little bit. For Chief Meteorologist Ryan Vaughn and Meteorologist Jace Passmore, I'm Meteorologist Aaron Castlebear. We'll be back for Good Morning Region 8 in about 15 minutes.